So, diagnostic and therapeutic equipment. This is our main important theme today. So, this is a small session actually. You can while all this thing you can able to clearly, detailedly know through some other sessions. But here I am going to say some of the basic information about what is a diagnostic and what is a diagnosis process and what are all the conditions we are available for diagnosis. All these things I'm going to give a clarity about. Okay. So first of all, you must know about what is a diagnosis. The identification, the identification of the nature of an illness or other problem by the examinations of the symptoms. Through the symptoms, the particular normal person can avail have some of these symptoms. Okay, for example, the person have some of the stomach upset, or for the person have some of the fever illness, or so the person have some of the fainting illness. So that kind of the persons, that kind of the illness can able to identify. The process of identification of that kind of illness of the humans is called as diagnosis. Okay, that is a in particularly we can able to say it is called as a medical diagnosis. Okay, it's called as a medical diagnosis. Why? What is the requirement? What is the need of this particular diagnosis? Is nothing but diagnosis is often challenging. I already told you some of the diseases we can able to some of the diseases we can able to predict through the sign or through the symptoms or through the physical appearances. Some of the diagnosis we can't able to predict. That is what the word meaning about the diagnosis is often challenging. Sometimes it may be give challenge. We can't able to predict. Even the doctors can't able to predict what the exact person is affected by. Okay, so because many of these signs and symptoms are non-specific, that is what very important, because we can able to find out, we can able to give us same sign and same symptoms of so many diseases. So that is the issue, is we can't able to predict the exact illness of the particular patient. Okay, that is why this particular diagnosis is required. Some of the patients, some of the doctors feels that some of the diseases have challenging to diagnose what the particular patient is exactly affected by. But we are the people, the biomedical engineers, we have some of the equipments. Through the particular equipments, the doctors can able to give the 100% clarity about the particular diseases. Okay, for example, some of the patient have stomach upset, some of the patient have diarrhea. That particular patient is also have some of the high temperature, or some of the common because of the throat infection, also because of the cold and all, some of the person have the temperature. So once you are observing that, once you are diagnosing the particular patient's body perfectly, then only we can able to identify the particular patient is exactly affected by, not only for this particular common diseases, some of the major diseases are also there. Through the equipment, the doctor give the 100% clarity about, the doctor got the 100% clarity about what the particular patient is exactly affected by. Without the equipment, the doctor can't able to predict, can't able to give the surety about what the patient is exactly affected by. So that is what the diagnostic equipment, the diagnosis is exactly can able to possible only through the equipment. Through the equipment only we can able to give the 100% accuracy. Okay, then who are all the persons need to diagnose, because we are all the common people. Through the sign and symptoms we can able to identify this particular patient is affected by. But who are all the major people, who are all the well predictable people, those who are going to get the diagnosis process and all. Okay, the diagnosis procedures may be performed by various healthcare professionals such as physician, physiotherapist, dental podiatrist, optometrist, nurse practitioners, healthcare scientists or physician assistants. All these are all the eligible person. Okay, all these are all the eligible person what I mentioned here. So these are all the healthcare professionals. They are all the peoples, they can able to predict, they can able to give the 100% clarity to the patient, those who are affected by some of the abnormal conditions. Okay, so these are all the very important thing. Along with these particular patients, whatever the it may be a physician, or it may be a physiotherapist, or it may be a dentist, or whatever the healthcare professionals may be, all these kind of patients, need an equipment to diagnose the minor problem or the major problem. Okay, for example, if there is any temperature variations in the human body, everyone knows that the particular patient have high temperature. Suppose, for example, if you need to know about the exact temperature reading, we need a thermometer. The thermometer is also considered as a biomedical equipment, the minor equipment. So if you know about the particular equipment only, you can able to give the 100% clarity. That is, we can able to give the 100% accuracy of how many temperature the particular patient have. Okay, for that, according to the temperature readings only, the doctor have give the drugs and all. The doctors have give the medicines and all, the prescriptions and all. So for that, whatever the healthcare professional may be, it may be a physician or it may be a nurse practitioner or maybe a scientist or it may be an optimist, whatever, whomever it may be. The main important thing is that particular professionals need an equipment to identify the particular patient's illness. Okay, so these are all the patients actually the well-equipped patients, the well-equipped persons to identify the patient's illness. Okay, then. So the next thing is diagnosis procedure as well as the opinion. Thereby, a diagnosis procedure does not necessarily involve elucidation of the etiology of the diseases or condition of interest. That is, what caused the particular disease or condition is, such as elucidation can be useful to optimize the treatment, further specify the prognosis, okay, or the prevent the recurrences of the diseases or conditions in the future. So this is what actually the diagnosis is required. So once you are diagnosis any of the treatment only, okay, once you are if you want your diagnosis any of the diseases or any of the abnormal condition only, then only we can able to plan ourselves what sort of the medicine is required to clear this particular disease, what sort of the treatment. Excuse me, 2 minutes. Some of the participants are waiting. I will admit them. Excuse me. I'm sorry for the delay. Participants. I'm sorry for the interrupt. So what sort of the problem it may be? What sort of the problem it may be for the patient? If you need to understand, if you need to diagnose properly only, we can able to give the proper treatment to the patient. For example, it is a minor problem also. If you understand the temperature of the particular patient only, we can give the particular medicines properly. Suppose the particular patient have 101 degree or 102 degree Celsius like that. The particular patient have some of the up level dosage. Okay, up level dosage the particular patients need. Then only we can able to reduce the temperature like that. There are so many diseases out there. Only we can able to diagnose the particular disease only. We can able to plan the further treatment. Whether the particular patient have the treatment is available or not. If the particular illness have treatment, what sort of the treatment we need to give, whether the particular patient have need any surgery or minor surgery or major surgery, or the medicines and all, it is required, it is enough for recovering the particular illness. All the things we can able to predict, only we can able to diagnose the particular illness properly. Okay, that is what the diagnostic procedure is very important. Okay, that is what the diagnostic procedure is very important to plan ourselves to treat the particular illness. Okay, for example, it is a minor disease. If it is a minor illness, then it does not cure, does not give any of the side effects, or it does not give any of the illness to the patient in the future. But it may be a major illness. Okay, it may be a major illness. If you are not going for the proper diagnosis, then it may give some of the tertiary kind of effect to the particular patient. That is what the diagnosis is very important. I repeat that the diagnostic procedure does not necessarily involve elucidation of the etiology of the diseases or conditions of the interest. That is, what caused the particular disease or condition is, such as elucidation can be useful to optimize the treatment, further specify the prognosis or prevent recurrences of the diseases or conditions in the future. Okay, that is what we are supposed to go for the diagnosis procedure and all. So there are so many diagnosis processes are there. Suppose, for example, if you are gone for any medicine, if you are gone for any medical related certificate course and all, no, there is the main important thing you need to know. Everyone says that the diagnosis is just for identification, but in that identification also there are so many classifications there. There are so many different types of classifications of diagnosis are there. First of all, the clinical diagnosis. So clinical diagnosis in the sense, the general, without any equipments, the person can able to identify the person's abnormality through the temperature variations or through some of the body and physical appearances like that. These kind of the diagnosis is nothing but the clinical diagnosis. Not only the doctors can able to diagnose these kind of diseases, then the common man also identify some sort of the diseases. That sort of the illness are coming under, that sort of the diagnosis that are coming under the clinical diagnosis. Okay, so then the next is laboratory diagnosis. Of course, everyone knows that. For example, through the blood test or through the urine test, with the help of the laboratory equipment, with the help of the laboratory equipment, the person's illness can able to identify, the person's illness can able to diagnose. That sort of the diagnosis is called as the laboratory diagnosis. Okay, and then the third is a radiology diagnosis. Of course, every biomedical engineer might know about the radiological equipments we have, like X-ray machine, CT machine, MRI machine, ultrasound. All these sort of the equipments, will diagnose some of the unpredictable diseases in the internal organs. Okay, that sort of the diseases. If you require any of the radiological equipment to diagnose any of the disease, that particular diagnosis are called as the radiology diagnosis. Then principal diagnosis. So the principal diagnosis is nothing but, for example, the patient have some of the major illness. Because of that particular major illness, some of the additional symptoms or sign is also coming along with that particular major illness. That sort of the diseases are called as the principal diagnosis. For example, if the person have high temperature, because of the high temperature, some of the other illnesses are also come around with you. Okay, because if in case you have a 1 or 2 degree temperature, then during that time you can't able to take a food properly. So because of you are not consuming any food properly, some of the other illness, the fainting like sensation you got, okay, vomiting like sensation you got. So some of the other illness along with the principal, along with the major illness, that sort of the diagnosis are called as the principal diagnosis. And then tissue diagnosis. So the pathological level, apart from the blood diagnosis, apart from the urine test, apart from the blood test like that, we can able to get the tissue of the particular patient, the pathological study. We can able to observe the particular tissue, especially for oncology, especially for the cancer kind of treatment. We have the term called the biopsy. So for the biopsy, we can able to get the tissue and we can able to observe. That kind of diagnosis are called as the tissue diagnosis. Okay, and then still it is not end, still it is continue. Admitting diagnosis. So admitting diagnosis is nothing but it is not actually a treatment, it's not a proper diagnosis process. Admitting diagnosis, once the patient is admitted as an inpatient in the hospital, okay, then during the time of the discharge, what are all the diagnosis, what are all the illness the patient is affected by previously. So all the thing can able to taken over in the sheet. That sort of the diagnosis is called as the admitting diagnosis. During the time of the inpatient ward, what are all the diagnoses we are supposed to taken over from the patient. That sort of the thing is called as the admitting diagnosis. And the differential diagnosis, of course. For example, this particular differential diagnosis is nothing but, excuse me. I'm sorry. So the differential diagnosis, a process of identifying all of the possible diagnoses that could be connected to the sign, symptoms, or the lab findings. So all these side of the diseases, and then ruling out of diagnosis until a final determination can be made. We can't able to predict. That is what I'm saying. We can't able to predict these kind of the diseases. The process of identifying all of the possible diagnoses. Okay, all the possible diagnosis we can able to make for the particular illness. So for that kind of the diagnosis, we can go for this differential diagnosis process. Okay, and then we go for the diagnostic criteria, or we can able to go for the prenatal diagnosis, the diagnostic work done before birth. In the fetal itself, we can able to identify the particular patient's illness. So that sort of the diagnosis process, it is nothing but the fetal, that is a prenatal diagnosis. Then the dual diagnosis. The dual diagnosis is nothing but what is the reason why I'm putting all this thing is, as a biomedical engineer also you should know all these kind of diagnosis. Okay, that is what I'm telling. So dual diagnosis is nothing but the diagnosis of two related but separate medical conditions or correlating. That is called as the dual diagnosis. For example, as I said, some of the patient have high temperature. Along with the high temperature, because of the high temperature, the patient have fainting. Okay, because of some other diseases, but because of vomiting, the patient have some of the stomach upset. Because of that, the patient have diarrhea. So along with the primary illness, some of the other illnesses are also joined. So that kind of the illness that coming under the dual diagnosis. Okay, and then self-diagnosis. The patient yourself, you can able to identify what is affected by myself. So that are called as the self-diagnosis. And then a remote diagnosis. What I'm saying was that the next is remote diagnosis. The type of telemedicine. It is nothing. There are types of telemedicine. The diagnosis of the patient without being physically in the same room of the patient. Of course, we are all know that some of the equipments are available through the telemedicines and all, telemetry and all. The doctors can able to identify what the patient condition is through the monitoring. Through the telemedicines, the doctor can able to identify the patient's diagnosis. So that kind of the diagnosis is required, some of the telemetry equipments and all. So that is the diagnosis process coming under the remote diagnosis and all. Okay, then the nursing diagnosis. Of course, we are all know that rather than focusing on biological procedure, a nursing diagnostic identify the people's response to situations in their life, such as a readiness to change as a or a willingness to accept the assistance. All these things through the medicines or through the physical appearances or through the approach or through the way he can able to react. All these things the nurses can able to predict, the nurses can able to diagnose. That sort of the diagnoses are coming under the nursing diagnosis. And then the computer aided diagnosis next is the most important. These are all the it's providing symptoms allow the computer to identify the problem and diagnosis the user to best of its ability. Of course, we can able to use some of the reconstruction process, back propagation process. These are all the softwares that will identify the exact problem of the patient. Okay, that kind of the using the computer aided, using the computer, we can able to diagnose some of the patient. Most of the radiological equipment requires some of the computer aided. So that kind of the diagnosis, that kind of the illness can able to find out. That diagnosis is called the computer aided diagnosis. Okay, then over diagnosis, the diagnosis of diseases that will never cause symptoms, distress, or death during a patient's lifetime. That is what I'm saying. The unpredictable diseases, the unpredictable diseases. Somebody says that we couldn't find out the death of the particular patient. He's good in he was very good in previous day, but unfortunately he got a death. So like that. So unpredictable diseases, the sudden heart attacks, or some of the tumors, we can't able to predict through the symptoms or the signs. So that kind of the diseases are coming under this over diagnosis. Okay, and then the waste bucket diagnosis. That is a vague or even completely fake. So yeah, that kind of the diseases we can't able to the doctors can't able to predict some of the psychotic label given to the patient or the medical records, the department for essentially non-medical reasons. So that kind of the diagnosis are called as the waste bucket diagnosis. Okay, waste basket diagnosis. And then the last but not least is retrospective diagnosis. That is the labeling of an illness in an historical figure or specific historical event using modern knowledge, methods, and disease classifications. That are all the coming under the retrospective diagnosis. So these are all the diagnostic procedures, or these are all the diagnostic methodologies that is available in the healthcare technology. As a biomedical engineer, you should also know all these kind of diagnosis process. each and according to the each and every diagnostic procedure only, we can able to use the equipment. We are supposed to use the ECG machine in the cardiology department. Okay, we are not supposed to use the particular cardiology ECG machine in the urological department. So like that, according to the department wise, the diagnostic procedure may vary. According to the department wise, the diagnostic equipment may vary. So according to the diagnostic equipment only, we can able to predict the exact condition of the patient. Okay, so that is what we must know about this kind of diagnosis process and everything. Okay, so that is what then we go for some of the other diagnostic and evaluation tool now. So we are all know that there are over 15,000 biomedical equipments out there. I already told you. In that, we can able to classify the diagnostic equipment and the therapeutical equipment. Most probably, in the 100% of the biomedical equipment, 70 to 73% of the equipments are the diagnostic equipments. Only the 27% of the equipments we can able to give for the therapeutical equipment. Okay, there are so many diagnostic equipments are there. You can able to have a chance to count over the diagnostic and therapeutic equipment. I'm damn sure the count of the diagnostic equipment is much more than that of the therapeutical equipment. Okay, so that is what the diagnostic and the evaluation tools are. The products includes the scales. For example, if you are measuring the weight of the person, or for example, if you are measuring the height of the patient, that is also it is considered as the healthcare measurement. That is also we need some of the equipment to measure it. For the weighing scale or through the height measurement, for the body mass index. For the body mass index, you require some of the equipment to diagnose. Okay, what is the weight of the patient? What is the height of the patient? According to that only we can able to measure the BMI. Okay, so the products includes scales, stethoscopes. Of course, we are all at the basic biomedical equipment. Through that we can able to identify the heartbeats. Okay, we can able then the Dopplers. Okay, then the ultrasound. So all these kind of the scanning devices, we can able to predict what happened the internal organs, what happened to the internal organ, whether it may be a normal, whether it is normal or abnormal. So all these kind of can able to identify using the Doppler ultrasounds. Okay, and then X-ray imaging equipment, all the radiological equipment. Okay, so through the X-ray we can able to diagnose the patient the bone illness. For example, some of the patient are met with an accident. Okay, through the naked eye, we can't able to predict what the exact fracture happens, where the exact fracture happens. Through this particular X-ray equipment, we can able to predict what is the exact condition of the particular bone. So the doctor can able to predict using the output of the X-ray machine. Okay, then come to the CT. The CT is especially for the tissue. So we can able to measure, we can able to predict the illness of the patient through the slicing of images. So that particular slicing of images give the further advantage to the patient, the further advantage to the doctors to know about the exact condition, exact point of the particular patient's illness. So that will give the clarity about the particular portion. Then the doctor decided that whether the particular patient is needed surgery or not. So that kind of the diagnosis can able to find out using the X-ray, CT, and MRI machine. Okay, and then the tools for pulse oximetry include. So in the pulse oximeter, the basic tool, the basic tool, we can able to predict the pulse rate. We can able to predict the partial pressure of oxygen, plethysmography. All these kind of things can able to use this particular pulse oximeter. And then affordable handheld fingertips model, that is a pulse oximeter I'm explaining about. And some of the wearable devices are also there. Some of the watches are also, healthcare watches are also there. Using that, you can able to predict the blood pressure. Using that, we can able to predict the pulse rate. All these wearable diseases or wearable systems or wearable devices are also considered as the diagnostic tools. Along with that, ECG machine, all the sort of the machines, all the sort of the signal measuring machines, that is ECG, patient monitors, some of the of course the imaging techniques. All these are all the evaluation tool. What has happened externally and what has happened internally of the human body. We can able to use these kind of tools. Okay, and then that is what I am picturizing over. That we can able to look at the thermometer, the basic diagnostic tools here. The thermometer, pulse oximeter, sphygmomanometer, along with that the stethoscope, weighing scale, ECG machine, and some of the ophthalmological equipment, that is a slit lamp, phoropter there, and then the pressure monitoring devices is there, and the ultrasound machine is there. All these kind of tools can able to find out using this particular basic diagnostic tools. Okay, so these particular basic diagnostic tools is especially used for diagnosing some of the basic illness of the patient. So basic illness of the patient can able to find out using this diagnostic tools and all, the basic diagnostic tools and all. Here, the cluster of equipments I pointed out. The cluster of equipments are I already told you, the count of the diagnostic equipment is more than that of the therapeutical equipment. All sort of the costly equipment here I am putting out. The X-ray machine is there, CT machine is there, C-arm is there, MRI machine is there, then the movable X-ray is there, the mobile X-ray is there. Then we have some of the diagnostic, the different sort of the CT machine, the third generation CT, second generation CT, we can able to find out here. And some of the ultrasound, the portable ultrasound, the handheld ultrasound machine is there. So all these kind of mammogram is there. Of course, there is a kind of the radiological equipment. So all these kind of the densitometry is there. These are all the major diagnostic tools there. So every biomedical engineers should know aware about these kind of the machines of all, because these are all the major diagnostic tool, especially to predict the condition of the internal organs of the body. Internal organs of the body can able to visualizing through some of the imaging tools. That particular imaging tools are what you are seeing in the slides. Okay, these particular machines is very important to predict some of the unpredictable diseases also. Okay, then we go for some of the therapeutical equipments. So therapeutic, of course, till now I discussed about what are all the diagnosis processes there, what are all the classifications of diagnosis available there, and what are all the diagnostic equipments are there. I pointed out some of the minimum only. What are all the things I can able to put it in the slides, I can able to use. Along with that, there are some other equipments are also there. We can't able to use all the equipments here. So that is what I'm just pointed out some of the major diagnostic tools only. Along with that, some of the other equipments are also giving diagnostic tools, act as a diagnostic tool to predict some of the disease. Okay, so now we go for the next, the second portion of our topic, that is a therapeutic equipment. So actually, what is a therapeutic is? It is relating to healing of the diseases. Okay, once we are diagnosing any of the diseases, the next step is we are supposed to cure. We are supposed to take a responsibility to cure the particular diseases, the particular illness. That sort of the process are called as the therapeutical process. So if any equipment is required for recovering that particular diseases are called as the therapeutical equipment. Okay, I hope you understand. That is the therapeutical equipment. The therapeutic is nothing but it is relating to healing of the diseases. Okay, it is a branch of the medicine concerned with the treatment of the diseases and the action of the remedial agents are called as the therapeutical process. It is a treatment therapy or the drug, the current therapeutic for asthma. For example, I mentioned about. So through the drug or through any therapeutical way or through the equipments, we are supposed to cure the diseases. That are all called as the therapeutical process. The equipments we are using for that particular therapeutical process are called as the therapeutic equipment. Of course, there are so many therapeutical equipments are also available. All the physiotherapy equipments, all the physiotherapy equipments are considered as the therapeutical equipments. Through the physiotherapy equipment, we can't able to diagnose anything. We can able to cure any of the illness, especially in the nerve stimulators, especially the body massages. All are giving the therapeutical treatment to the patient. Okay, that is what I am mentioning about. So in other words, the therapeutic use means the attempt to care or to cure, to cure, improve, mitigate or treat any of the diseases. That is what I'm saying. Repeatedly, the word determining that what sort of the diseases it may be. It may be a minor, small kind of affection, small kind of illness, or the major illness. What sort of the diseases it may be. If you use any of the equipment for cure the particular diseases, that are called as the therapeutic equipment. Okay, the process is called as the therapeutical process. Then these are all some of the listing out the therapeutical equipments. Okay, excuse me, some of the small disturbances is that, excuse me, we need to admit some of the patient that are also. Okay, so the therapeutical equipment. So these are all the therapeutical equipment. What I mentioned was what I mentioned in the top corner. The top corner, the left corner is phototherapy unit. So the phototherapy unit for the infant especially, we are giving some of the treatment through the light waves, through the ultraviolet radiations. We can able to kill some of the pathogens. Okay, that is a therapeutical kind of thing. And all the things what I mentioned below here is all are the physiotherapy equipment. The nerve stimulator is there, the body massager is there, the muscle massager is there, the muscle stimulator is there. All these kind of equipment. Of course, in the bottom you can able to find out the defibrillator. The defibrillator is also considered as the therapeutical way of equipment. Okay, it can able to give the artificial pulses. We can able to give the artificial pulses to rebuilding the natural pulses of the sinoatrial lobe. So for that we are using the defibrillator there, the defibrillator and the some of the machines, the body massager, we can able to find it out. All these are majorly all the physiotherapeutic equipments I pointed out here. These are all the therapeutical equipments we can able to use. Along with that, we have some of the linear accelerator is there. The linear accelerator, proton therapy, all these are all coming under the oncology department. This is especially used for the oncological way of treatment, the way of therapy we can able to use for radiations. Okay, that sort of the equipments are also coming under the therapeutical equipment. And then along with that, we can able to go for some of the LASIK surgery, laser surgery, in the ophthalmological department we are used. That are all the treatment. Whatever the treatment we are assigned, whatever the treatment we are given to the patient, that are all the process called as the therapeutical process. In that way, the doctor must need an equipment to treat. All the equipment used in the surgery, in the operation theater, that are all the equipment is especially for the therapeutical purpose equipment. For example, a small forceps, that is also used for the therapeutical treatment. Okay, there are millions of the forceps are also available. Okay, we are not saying that are all the equipments, that are all the small knobs, the small forceps that are also useful for the therapeutical purpose. That is what I'm saying. In probably all the equipments used in the operation theater, that are all coming under the therapeutical equipments. Okay, so this is the very important thing you need to know about. Okay, so as a biomedical engineer, you might have know about each and every equipment in the clear-cut manner, because it is an ocean. The biomedical equipment is just like an ocean. If you are dismantling any of the small equipment also, it takes almost 1 week to learn about the small equipment. For example, the pulse oximeter. If you want to dismantle the pulse oximeter also, you need to learn many things in that. You need to observe many things in the circuit level, in the demonstration level. Okay, for that purpose, because of that particular reason, we can't able to become an expert of each and every equipment. Okay, choose any of the equipment, whether it be a diagnostic equipment or the therapeutic equipment. Behave as an expert on that particular thing, particular 2 or 3 equipments. Then you are expert on that particular equipment. For example, take an example, if you are ultrasound engineer, you are expert in the particular ultrasound. You have a capability to troubleshooting any sort of the problem in the particular equipment. Okay, for example, you are a ventilator expert. Of course, ventilator is not a diagnostic, it is a therapeutical equipment. Okay, ventilator, there are portable ventilator is there, ambulatory ventilator is there, normal ICU ventilator is there. So all these are all the therapeutical equipment. So if you are expert in that particular ventilator, you should have some of the capability to troubleshooting any sort of the fault over in the particular ventilator. So that is what you are become an expert in, at least the 4 or 5 equipment, not the whole biomedical equipment. It is not possible actually. Okay, whatever the biomedical engineers you maybe you are well graduate, you are well experienced, what sort of the experience you gather over, you are all expert in, you can able to say you are expert in 5 equipments or 6 equipments. Okay, it may be a diagnostic equipment, it may be a therapeutic equipment. According to that, you can able to choose it, and you can able to get a knowledge about each and every parts of the every demonstrating parts of all in the breadboard level. You can able to understand what the equipment is about. Then it is well eligible for you to face the market. Okay, that is what I am going to say. So these are all the equipments available. These are all the main thing I am going to discuss about this diagnosis and the therapeutical equipment. Along with that, you are already gone through the in the books, in the academic books, you have gone through so many diagnostic equipment. Academically, you can able to familiar. At the same time, practical experience also you can able to gather. You are supposed to attend some of the implant training. You are supposed to attend some of the hospital training also. Then only you can able to get more knowledge. Some of the equipments are not available in the books. Okay, some of the what I mentioned in the phototherapy units and some of the physiotherapy units and some of the body massages, some of the things that are not available in the academic books. That are all the equipments you can able to view in the hospitals only or in the training site only. So through that only you can able to get much amount of knowledge about the equipment. At the same time, we are well expert theoretically in about X-ray, but once you are go and visit the X-ray practically, then what you are studied over in the academic part, what you are studied over in the book is entirely different in the whole part, because the new technologized X-ray is also available nowadays. The parts are entirely different. Okay, so through the practical experience only you can avail more amount of knowledge. You can avail more amount of knowledge about this particular diagnostic and therapeutical equipment. Once you got the information, getting an information is not a matter. But once you got a practical experience, that is an important matter. All these kind of practical experience you can able to get. Then only you can able to become an expert of that particular equipment. Okay. Once you, first of all, as a biomedical engineer, you must know about all these kind of equipments. And the second thing is choose any of the equipment and you can able to export on that particular equipment. So this is the way you can able to molding yourself. This is the way you can able to mold yourself to become as a perfect biomedical engineer. Okay, so this is the small thing, because the diagnostic and therapeutic equipment I can able to we can able to spend at least 1 week to tell about all these kind of equipment. During the short period of time, I can able to say what are all the diagnosis process and what are all the diagnostic equipment and what are all the therapeutical available here. Okay, so I just hold the session today because of this particular session is almost getting 1 hour time. So this is the basic information about the diagnostic equipment and the therapeutic equipment. Okay, so now I am hand over the session to you all. Do you have any queries of any sort of the equipments? Do you have any queries of any sort of these kind of the process and the therapies and all? You can able to ask me. Don't put anything in the chat box. You can able to avoid directly, and I will explain you. First of all, I will come in video. First of all, I will stop sharing. Thanks a lot for this particular session, and thank you very much for your patience. And I just send this particular recorded session to your mail. And thank you. We'll meet in the next session. Thanks a lot.